I'm Nancy Walters. I'm from the Easton Hunger Coalition. I'm here at the Skillman Library today. This is where I first met teen artist Emma Rose. She was introduced to me by her mom, Chelsea, who works here at Lafayette in the Landis Center. Chelsea knew about the Easton Hunger Coalition and about our campaign, Hunger Free in 23, to make Easton a hunger-free community. Chelsea thought that Emma Rose's artist interest and also her interest in social justice might form a partnership with the Hunger Coalition to see what we could do together. There was a small exhibit here in the library, 12 silk-screened posters. The artist was inspired by the words of Rosa Parks, the great civil rights activist. These words were used in these silk-screen posters, and Emma Rose and I looked at the exhibit together and talked about how the artist had used the art to inspire and to secure the words of Rosa Parks so that they could be part of the social justice for change. By the time we finished talking, we decided we would work together on a project. Emma Rose would work with the student artists. She knew the students from her school and from other schools. I would provide the information from the Hunger Coalition on local hunger issues. And we would approach Nurture Nature Center's art director, Carrie Maxfield, who we would ask for help in mentoring, support us, and give us some ideas on how to proceed. Ending hunger in Easton and the greater Lehigh Valley will be the surest way that we can say we have healthy communities. Kids today know all too well that not everyone has access to nutritious food. The National School Lunch Program provides free and reduced fee lunches and sometimes breakfasts all across the country, including here in Easton. The National School Lunch Program was started in 1946 under President Truman and has grown and grown. In 2019, over 30 million children accessed free or reduced fee school lunches across America at a cost of over $14 billion. This program exists because food insecurity exists in our communities. On average, in Easton, over 1,600 kids live in households that have to access emergency food every month. This is beyond the school meal. This is accessing emergency pantries. All mothers and fathers want consistent, healthy meals for their children. Everyone deserves a place at the table. So how did we get to this point? The communities across the United States have to rely on emergency food pantries like this one here at Project to feed a significant number of people. President Lyndon Johnson announced his 1964 War on Poverty. It was estimated that at that time up to 1/3 of U.S. citizens were living in poverty, which was completely unacceptable to the general public, who were shocked to hear these statistics. Johnson's suggestions were multi-pronged. He said we should firm up food stamps, provide Medicare, Medicaid, increase Social Security, strengthen job programs, Title I programs. There were many programs suggested for the war on poverty. I was a teen at that time, and I remember this. The idea was not only to relieve poverty, but to cure poverty and to prevent poverty. That seemed to work for a while until the political winds shifted and far more money was being spent on defense. These projects were reduced. Today, 1 in 7 Americans struggles with food insecurity. At the same time, we created a connected emergency food system across the U.S. using regional food banks that then give the food to the emergency food pantries, which distribute it into the communities, like the one here at Project. Project's Pantry was one of the first ones in downtown Easton. It serves the largest number of people out of all the pantries. It serves 3 days a week, 52 weeks a year. On average, 4,200 people in Easton access the emergency food pantries every month. No one should live in fear of hunger. No one wants their neighbor to go hungry. We're at St. Vincent de Paul Society, Easton Pantry at 9th and Washington Streets. This is one of the member pantries of the Second Harvest Food Bank in Lehigh Valley. The regional food bank serves Lehigh, Northampton County, Monroe, Pike, Carbon County. There's 200 agencies that are served by the Second Harvest Food Bank. In Northampton County, there's 44 agencies. In Easton, there are 7 member pantries to Second Harvest. This one here is a completely volunteer pantry. Twice a month they distribute on Tuesday evenings. They're here a lot of times working on the pantry, stocking shelves. As you can see, there's steps that go up and down, and things have to be carried up and carried down. Right now during the pandemic, when the pantries are struggling to distribute their food, they have to carry the food down here to the parking lot to distribute it because they're not letting people in the building. But they make it work because they really care about their clients. This is one of the emergency food pantries in Easton, just one. 22.5% of Easton households use SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. So many people need to use these emergency pantries. There's no one single reason why people are hungry, and there's no one single solution to the hunger problem. We were just at St. Vincent de Paul Society Food Pantry at 9th and Washington in Easton, and now we're over on South Side. We're behind the St. Paul's Lutheran Church, where they have their pantry 12 baskets full. Twice a month, people line up here to get the distribution of the emergency food. Depending on the size of the household, they receive 2 to 3 days worth of food to keep them covered. Food comes from the Second Harvest Food Bank because they're a member pantry. Some of the food may come from donations to the food pantry, but not all of it. Most comes from Second Harvest. Some fresh food may come from recovered food, from farms, farm stands, grocery stores, or from the Easton Public Market. When the hungry include children, seniors, veterans, working adults, the disabled, the homeless, it's evident that there are systemic problems which require systemic solutions. We wanted our student teen artists to understand that hunger is in every community, it's in their community, it's in our community, it could be in their household, it could be in our household. We asked for their artistic response to the self-evident truths on hunger. We asked for their inspiration for the 2020 vision, Eyes on Hunger. An empty cupboard is not an indication of an empty soul. Retirees do not retire from eating. The Easton Hunger Coalition was founded in 2014. The group of people who founded it felt we could do more collaboratively than we could separately to end hunger in our community. Unfortunately, we've been ending hunger since 1964 in the United States with no end in sight. Clearly, something has not captured the public's interest or understanding about this incredibly wrong situation. No one on earth needs to go hungry. We have enough food and resources to provide for everyone on the earth, and we have technological advances so that agriculture can provide for future growth of our population. The question is, do we have the will to share and to fairly distribute the bounty? The question is, do we have the desire to have a sustainable food system? The question is, do we want to squander our resources and damage our environment and our people and our health? Or do we want to have a food system that works for everyone? Here at the Neighborhood Center on Southside Easton, among their other programs is a food pantry and this wonderful urban garden that's off to my right. The Easton Urban Garden, run by farmer Mark Reed, provides fresh, beautiful, organic produce for this pantry, for other pantries, and for the Veggies in Community program that runs every summer in the West Ward in Easton. So many people have come together to make this happen. And this beautiful mural has recently been painted by the folks at Crayola to enhance this garden. The most delicious and nutritious food from this garden reaches out into the community in the same way that we hope the 2020 vision, Eyes on Hunger, will reach out into your minds and your hearts and awaken the truth about hunger. Prosperity for Easton and the greater Lehigh Valley will only be meaningful if it includes everyone. Food is a basic human right.